Welcome back to the grand stage in Shanghai for what is one of the biggest occasions on the snooker calendar, and what a final we have set up for you. It's the world champion, world number 2, against the world number 1 and the 5 times champion out in Shanghai, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Here's the introductions then. It's Luca Brecel making his way into this vast auditorium. What a day it's going to be. Nice introductions there, Luca Brecel, as I say, the reigning world champion. And there is the 3 times defending champion. Yeah, the living legend is correct. The intros and the roar goes up as the man makes his way in. Referee there, Peggy Li, she'll be overseeing this final.
Before the game gets started, let's welcome our competitors to take a photograph of the trophy and wish them good luck.
So the seedings, they've got absolutely right. It's the number 1 and the number 2. There they are, just standing by the trophy, getting some nice pictures after the introductions. Just to let you know, we have 10 frames of this first session. It's a best of 21 frame final. 10 frames this morning, and then a possible 11 frames in this evening's session. 4 frames traditionally before the interval.
First frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Off we go then. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan to get the Shanghai Masters final underway. Yeah, they both made their way into this final through a really difficult draw, as you can imagine. Top 16 in the world were here with 8 wild cards. And I know we're all very much looking forward to such a big occasion, as is my colleague Fergal O'Brien. It's a big one, Fergal, this.
Thank you, Alan. Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's been a great tournament. And I think with these 2 players, you feel you've more or less guaranteed a great final.
Yeah, of course, Ronnie O'Sullivan has had a day off. He played on Friday to book his spot here in that rear guard action against Mark Selby. A couple of massive frames, wasn't it? Frame 14 is one that you would immediately think of. He was 7-6 behind and produced a wonder clearance the last 5 reds and went away from the great man. Luca Brecel yesterday against Neil Robertson, he sort of had the upper hand pretty much all the way. Always had that 2 or 3 frame cushion that saw him towards the winning line. Both coming through 10-7 in those respective semi-finals.
Yeah, I think it's going to be crucial today at the start of each frame. The battle between both of them to try and get control, get the first chance. It'd be interesting to see Ronnie's mindset going out today. Does he back himself? That I think most people agree he has a superior safety game. Does he try and use that to its full extent, but also doesn't want to feel like he's taking a backward step? But just Luca's range of shots is so vast, I think you have to give that due care and attention. Or does he try and be aggressive, try and beat Luca to the punch? Likewise, Luca's safety will have to be good. Not just good, probably very good. Sullivan playing side on every shot to try and maximise every shot, cause the greatest difficulty for his opponent. Great test for Luca. Obviously, he passed it in the World Championships quarter-final, but over the distance playing Ronnie. It's going to test every part of his game.
Yeah, just to give you the head-to-heads, it's 3-2 in wins for Ronnie O'Sullivan, but by far the biggest was that 5 months ago at the Crucible. Luca came into that third session 10-6 behind, got the job done by winning the last 7 frames, no less, on his way to the title at the Crucible.
Yeah, the world champion against the world number 1. Doesn't get any better than that. Just containing safety from Luca. That red close to the right corner, just causing Ronnie problems there. That's why he's gone down. To have a look, where exactly can he leave the white? And of course, there's also a red close to the left corner. So not just the positioning of the white, but also as close as possibly can to that ball cushion. Couldn't play it much better. That just reduces Luca's options. And all of a sudden, after a few safety shots, a few reds have started to come out of the way from the pack. Yeah, with the black not being in play, as a result, then he had to try and force it, get back up the table for the blue. Just made it a little bit more difficult.
It was interesting, Ronnie deliberately leaving that red, wasn't it? You know, quite an interesting tactical move early on. It was one that he knew, I think, that Luca was obviously going to have a go at, but he set the trap. It seems to have worked. So first chance to the world number 1.
Yeah, sometimes you can't avoid leaving your opponent some shot, but that's why it was crucial that he left the white so close to the ball cushion.
7.
And also, Luca then had very little angle as well. So first real
8.
chance of the final to Ronnie. He'll be anxious, as always, with Ronnie as soon as he can to get the black into play. Obviously available into one pocket. Chances are, when he pots the black, of course, he'll probably land on the red on the left-hand side near the cushion.
40. $15.
So really kind of a little bit of tidying up nearly here to do for Ronnie to get the black free and available into both pockets, and then from there try and get into the pack.
$22.
Yeah, just touching on that
23.
semi-final, Ronnie against Mark Selby, I did think, certainly for the first half of that match, he was searching for his best form. And as is often the case with him, one moment of inspiration, and it was definitely frame 14.
30.
65 behind, he produced pure magic
31.
to make the clearance, and from there he went away from his opponent. So it certainly feels to me like he's coming into this final in a very good frame of mind. That one's gone astray. That's end of break, barring a thin cut, I think, to middle.
38.
Just lost the cue ball, not like him.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 38.
Yeah, we almost take it for granted that when Ronnie's in amongst them on 30 or 40, you're just automatically going to clear every time. We had a very uncharacteristic mistake from Ronnie there. His cue ball control is usually immaculate. Again, classic example there of Ronnie's safety play, playing it with a bit of side deliberately to try and bring the white ball back over to that side. It'd be interesting as well, Ronnie's safety today. Does he play thick, aggressive safety shots off the pack? Does he play them quite thin, keep the pack tight, and play them at side and let the white ball get into the position he wants? Seems to block the red, that's bog. Even for somebody of Luca's ability, testing on red. And if he misses it, you feel he's automatically going to leave Ronnie a chance probably to win the frame. There's pressure on this. Yeah, you can see the cue right across it there. Right hand side just pushed it away.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It's not a good feeling, that, as a player, isn't it, when you hit across that type of shot.
One.
Doesn't have to concern himself with the black at all here. With this lead, pink, plenty reds out in the open.
7. $13. $14.
It certainly appears to be a little bit sharper today, particularly at the start of the match. A little bit more at peace with himself. And of course, having the confidence of beating not just John Higgins, but Mark Selby, and the way he did, the way he finished both matches,
20.
will give him confidence.
$21.
Yeah, we take for granted some of the exploits, the form and the achievements of Ronnie O'Sullivan. Just looking back to, again, the couple of days ago against Mark Selby, that 66 clearance from 65 behind to, excuse me, almost light the fuse, because from 7-all, 113, 101 and 99 to finish 10-7. It's as good as it gets. Can't play any
28.
better than that. Yes, he didn't get this done at the first time of asking, but this pink is frame ball.
$34. $35.
Yeah, similar to his match with John. Obviously, John certainly let him off the hook. But when it got towards the end of the match, typical great champion, sprinted over the winning line.
42.
Rather than being fearful of it.
$47. $48. Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 48.
Yeah, the in-off clearly won't matter. So Ronnie O'Sullivan, in 2 visits, has got the first frame of the Shanghai Masters final underway. He bossed it and he leads. Luca Brecel, 1-0. Welcome back to the grandest of stages
Second frame.
in
Luca
Shanghai.
Brecel's
Luca
break.
Brecel didn't get a foothold in frame 1. Off we go, frame 2. 10 frames to be played in this session, 4 and then the interval. It's an unusual number, isn't it, to have 10 frames before, you know, in the first session all told. I don't know if that's ever been a thing.
Yeah, a couple of times in the Shanghai Masters, but other than that, traditionally, you said it's best of 19 is the final distance, 9 and 10.
Yes, clearly players in a way jockeying for position to come back tonight for the final session. But of course, barring 5 all, it stands to reason there's going to be a 2-frame gap or a 4-frame gap. So it, yeah, it's an unusual number. I suppose in the end it doesn't really matter. It's first to 10 as Luca Brecel gets his final up and running. Superb red to right middle. It's what he's good at, I think, isn't it? Those kind of shots that need unerring accuracy, he seems to find the target.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, that's the problem for Ronnie as well today. Not just with Luca's cue power, but also his range of shots. Unusual shots, quirky shots. Not only does he go for them, but more importantly, he gets them. So what's
9.
safe or deemed safe against probably at least 90% of the players is not safe against Luca. And again, he's going to go for them. That just puts pressure on the safety, as I said before, not just the length, but where exactly you're going to put the white.
16. $70.
I think Luca far less likely to get bogged down in tactics or game plans. Just sees it, pots it. Very aggressive shot selection.
22. $23.
You know, need to create something here. Looking forward to there and putting that red, obviously the pink blocking the path to the blue. Looks quite straight even on the yellow. Obviously loads of cue power. Besides screw back for the reds, you need all of that power. Yeah, not overly happy with that strike.
25.
Looked like it could be end of break, but again,
Pink ball.
picked out a little gem there. Of course, has the pink over the middle pocket to continue it. Somebody this dangerous, it's just an uneasy feeling to play against, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. His cue ball just seems to cover every blade of grass, so to speak, doesn't it? He's brilliant to watch. Unconventional, but he's
33.
definitely improved in these situations. When he's in close, you know, generally his cue ball does manoeuvre around the table, but his cue ball is, I think, improving all the time, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. And you feel it's only going to get better.
40.
He's no problem creating the
41.
chances. And in amongst them, he starts getting even more clinical. He's going to be very, very hard to beat.
He's a player as well, I think it's difficult for other top players to get at. That's, you know, that's always part of it, isn't it? You want to get someone at it, you know, get them under pressure. It's difficult to get put pressure onto Luca Brecel. That was another shot that was quite unconventional. There's always that thing in matches, isn't there, when you admire in some way your opponent, and there's a lot to admire with Luca when he's playing. You shots like that, spinning into the pack, getting the white move, and you think, oh, that was a good shot. That was another one. There's a lot of that with Luca.
Absolutely, yeah. As you said, you never really can't read too much off him. Great temperament. He's no tells as such. Very rarely do you see him get annoyed, bang the table like you might see with other players. And again, the biggest tell is that he never compromises. Doesn't go into a shell these big occasions. The World Championship was a classic example of that. That old Steve Davis adage, to play as if it means nothing when it means everything. Such an asset.
63.
Yeah, it's been quick fire stuff. And this black should be frame ball.
Also as well,
70.
not intimidated by Ronnie. A lot of times players have been a little bit apprehensive, a little bit fearful.
71.
Luke has beaten him twice before, and of course, more importantly, the World Championship, so that's not an issue. Sometimes we see with players when they become World Champion for the first time, they've been a little bit of a burden, it was restricted them or they felt pressure, but I think if there's any player or person that can deal with it really well, it's
79.
Luca. Just goes about his business. Looks like it. Loving life, loving playing snooker. Why wouldn't you? Seem to have travelled the world this summer.
86.
Look at him.
87.
His post on social media. It was the best advertisement ever for winning the World Championship.
$94. 95.
Lovely break.
Yeah, fantastic break. The first red was outstanding. And there's the roar. The perfect response
100.
by the world champion.
101. $107. 109. 112.
It's so clear to see this boy's got talent to burn, isn't he? talent in bundles. He's just brushing these in.
121.
Yeah, and Ronnie knows it very well. Ronnie was gushing in his praise after beating him for the talent he has.
127.
So we're hoping for a good start with this 134 for Luca. That just signifies it. Brilliant break.
A typical brisk and breezy, excuse me, 134 by the world champion. And he's back on level terms. This final is truly underway. It's one frame all. Welcome back to the Shanghai Masters final. Both of the opening frames have been total domination. First frame by Ronnie, breaks of 38 and 48.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
And then a sparkling 134 by Luca Brecel to draw level. It's 1-1, off we go, frame 3.
I just feel this is nearly where the match is going to be won and lost. These kind of very early exchanges. I just feel whoever gets in first, every chance they can win the frame from it.
Conditions can be a little sticky in Shanghai, as we know, but I think the conditions overall, in terms of the bedcloth on this table, you'll see it here with a safety shot. The cue ball runs out beautifully towards baulk, and it's one of those that the players will enjoy. It seems to run out that bit more. That doesn't look like it's going to reach the baulk line. Of course, it's not maybe quite, but it just runs out nicely. Players enjoy that.
Yeah, exactly. When you're playing those safeties, particularly if you're catching a little bit thick, you don't want to feel like you're forcing them. Very unlike Ronnie there. That kind of shot, swinging around the angles, brilliant at. But every safety shot Ronnie plays today, he'll have to give this full attention, because we've already seen in the last frame how dangerous Luca is, not just from distance, but obviously in close. So they let that slip away. He was hoping to be on the black. Tremendous pot. Again, he fully expected he would pot it, as difficult as it was. And again, that extra bit of power to bring it back, effortless.
It's one of those shots, actually, you get the feeling well, Luca enjoys it. He wanted to be on black, as you rightly say, but it's like, oh, lovely. Lovely.
Yeah. Gives him a chance to flaunt his game.
Yeah, yeah. So gifted.
Seven.
Yeah, I think he's just looking to see there if he can more or less pot the black and put the white where it is now. That red at the bottom of the pack, if he was there, he could pot it and open the pack.
$40. 50.
a little bit short of pace there. Quite straight on the black here. Probably have to just resort to playing the red into the middle, then trying to get back on the black with an angle.
$23.
Yeah, poor enough there to land straight. Well, what we thought was straight. Did very well to generate that action on the white ball.
28. $29.
Yeah, this is brilliant stuff, isn't it? Once again, the cue ball. So making a few journeys here and there, but he's able to keep this going. Now, this is a toughie if he plays with left-hand side. 2 cushions. Has 1 loose red. Oh, just gone wrong. He keeps you guessing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think he keeps himself guessing, actually.
Yeah. Better staying quiet, let him play it. I keep saying it's just those range of shots. So
Yes.
what do you think his end of breaker for normal people is? He can find something. He'll have to find something here again. Yeah, cue that very poorly there.
Luca Brecel, 34.
Yeah, that little contribution of 34 is all part of the charm of Luca Brecel, the way that he plays. A few sparkling shots here and there, and then a shot that he wouldn't mind me describing as a sort of club player effort, that the one with the rest, but he just sort of brushes it off. Shot to nothing here, perhaps, below the pink. Ooh, that was, again.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Don't know even if he hit the right red there. Not looked a fairly standard shot. That shot to nothing. We'll see it again. Well, if you went for your shot to nothing, he's literally hit the red on the other side.
Yeah, I think we're all a bit mystified.
When you found it, you did tiny touch the yellow, so it was a miss. Just letting you know, so.
Oh, that makes sense. That's why he hit the other side of the red. When he played the shot. Oh, good look at this.
Tiny little bit.
Yeah, the last time when he played, he actually just glanced the yellow. That's why the white took a different path. This will test the referee now.
I mean, why would Ronnie leave?
Got it right in.
He wants them replaced, so this is going to take a lot of work. That's the first thing for Peggy Li, our referee. But Luca has a bog standard shot to nothing. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't be at all surprised if Luca pots. If was to pot the shot on, that's of course if he's on it. Or you, of course, the fact that Luca then went in off, you think Ronnie would back himself maybe from put it on the baulk line. Does the red beside the blue go?
Yeah, this is going to take a few minutes. I mean, don't know exactly how many reds moved, but it was a few. It was a good spot by Peggy Li, the actual foul on the yellow.
Yeah, and of course, also in playing that shot, a red did go into the pocket as well, so that has to be replaced.
Yeah.
这个吧，然后这个吧，
Yeah, thankful. I'm very thankful I'm not down there.
这个
Yeah, absolute nightmare for a referee.
Yeah.
是这个吧，
Yeah.
这个没事。
Yeah, if you've just walked in, just trying to replace the balls, it hasn't been abandoned the match. Yeah, just brushed it. It'll also be very important apart from the reds, in a half an hour's time. When she does put the white back, that it's exactly where it should be, where it was.
还有4个。
In relation to that, Luca has the exact potting angle for the shot to nothing.
好，我知道。
This is where it's. I mean, this is as difficult as it gets replacement-wise. It's one of those that you would hope that
这个怎么摆？
maybe bring an iPad or something down to the table set, but we can't. I'm assuming that's not a thing, but this is just a horror story to get these replaced.
Yeah, if there was some way you had a camera above and it could literally imprint the picture of the table before it was played, so she'd be able to see exactly and then just literally drop the reds, replace them. Whereas she literally gone ball by ball to her assistant. And in this instance, it's going to be 7 or 8 shots have to be individually replaced, all important. And as I said, none more important than the white.
Just while this is going on, just to let you know, you can watch the second session. The second session gets underway at 12:30 UK time. That's 1:30 Central European time. Neil Foulds and David Tendon will be with you. That's all on Discovery Plus, of course.
可以吗 You happy for this? Just give me a second. Okay, so you happy for thank you, Ronnie.
It feels to me like there was a red farther to the left that was a potential problem. But anyway, that was a tough job. So off we go again.
Yeah, interesting there. Luke, I'd have decided he didn't have the angle, or maybe because it was confusion. Could be a good bit of sportsmanship there. Yeah, it's possible Luca there, because it was such a fine margin, didn't want to play it, or didn't want to be seen to play a shot that wasn't on. So, classy touch there from Luca, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. That would have been... It's one of those, if you play the shot that you tried to play first time round, of course, miss the yellow, pot the red, you know, your opponent may be, well, hold on a minute. But all's fine and well. Yeah, I agree, that was classy. As was that. Superb red now looking for a bounce, a big one. Just about on it.
Sorry.
It's in the jaw, the middle pocket. Let himself testing red here. Passed the test pretty well, has to be said. Not just the accuracy, but beautifully struck. Long backswing, lovely, slow, smooth delivery of the cue. Hit it absolutely perfect.
11. $12. 19. 20. 26. 27.
Two reds close to the side cushion are going to cause the problem. He wants to win in one visit.
34. 35. 41. 42. 49.
Yes, Fergal says it's all going to be about those two reds. What can he do with them? Here we go then.
Would have liked to probably been a little bit higher on the black playing that shot, but couldn't really get into that position from the previous red. And a lovely 61 break.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 57.
Left Ronnie a possible shot to nothing. Again, if he was to go for it, he'd come back down towards the black. And that black would make it 35 ahead.
Yeah, that was a beautiful positional shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, those two reds we've seen in this frame from distance just struck the ball so well. Always lets the cue do the work. Even if he needs power, never seems to hit it hard. Certainly never hits it any harder than he has to.
Foul.
Not sure exactly the foul there. Definitely an in-off.
Yeah, there might have been about 3 fouls in that one. He maybe just touched a ball colour with his...
Yeah, you can see the yellow.
The yellow there.
To be fair, Ronnie called it himself straight away, as soon as he felt it.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, doesn't it? All of a sudden. Excuse me, 31 instead of 35. That gives Luca more breathing space.
Yeah, foul, but obviously not a miss.
That's twice, isn't it? It's half loose. Is that kind of mistake going to be good enough in the end game? As Fergal says, Ronnie's been good at this so far. There's another. There's another.
One.
This level, you just cannot leave a glimmer of a chance like that.
Yeah, it's those little mini games at certain times during the match Luca's going to have to win.
7.
Again, when you're playing safety, you don't always have to play a brilliant telling safety. A lot of the time, it's just a case of when your opponent comes to the table, he can't pot a ball.
Yes, absolutely. Ronnie picks up the pieces from a couple of Luca Brecel safety errors and is back in front again. The defending champion leads 2-1. Yeah, welcome back. It's been a typical quick-fire first 3 frames of this Shanghai Masters final. One more frame before the mid-session interval. Gives us a chance to look at the head-to-heads. Here they are, just 5 meetings all told. Ronnie O'Sullivan with a 3-2 advantage. Career centuries more than 1,000 in front of Luca Brecel. How can that ever be a thing? But it is. Centuries this season, they've not been all that active, to be honest, so just 5 against 6 professional titles. Well, 76 all told for the great man. Luca adding to his collection year on year. World ranking 1 and 2. That's unusual to get the top 2 players in the world rankings in a big final like this. Ronnie O'Sullivan, he's not 47 years of age. He can't be, surely. He definitely doesn't play like it.
Fantastic. Of course, Luca Brecel over 200 centuries. You'll agree, Alan, that all the good players have had over 200 centuries in their career.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, myself and Fergal managed to squeak past over 200, I think, but...
Managed to squeak it into the conversation.
Yeah, so off we go then. The frame before the session interval. There was an argument, I suppose, I don't know, for the fact that we have 10 frames in this first session. Was there an argument for 5 and 5? That doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think so. I think it might even actually be more prevalent tonight, because if it was to go all the distance, the last session, when they come back from the mid-session, they potentially could have 7 frames. So certainly tonight probably could be 5 and 6, probably more relevant. You said 4 is just the standard amount. But probably, certainly tonight could be a bit lopsided.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, of course, it doesn't matter. Just thinking more so, that, you know, the crowd, to give them an even amount of time between that mid-session. But, yeah, 10 frames to be played before coming back tonight.
Excellent safety there from Ronnie. Gap though for Luca. With the yellow, blue and brown being so close together, it's a big target. Try and get a safety, potentially get it behind those. You see both players, nearly every shot trying to get it there, desperate to try and get it there, gain an advantage.
One of the problems Luca may have in this final is the fact that Ronnie has ultimate respect for Luca. I don't think that's true of all players. As I say, he does respect and I think enjoy playing against Luca Brecel. That might go against the world champion.
Yeah, Ronnie's going to give not just Luca, but every shot is full attention, absolutely no complacency, and just try and rise to the challenge. Very focused today, Ronnie. You can see right from the start how focused he was, just totally engrossed in the game. Looking to try and gain any advantage. I think Luca Fergal playing off the pack. The black is in play, kind of in the path of the white. And then maybe to try and avoid it, and might end up playing a little bit thicker. Played a little bit thicker. With a bit of exercise just to get away and avoid the black. Ronnie probably plays something similar. Figure of 8 safety shot, it's called. Luke will probably return the compliment. If you get the white behind the green, even not directly, even on the cushion, it would just block this shot that both players are playing the last few shots. And again, unless Ronnie gets cover, Luke will be playing the same shot again.
One of those cruise ship frames, isn't it? With the red's just going to one side.
It's put in the stalemate anyway.
1.
Very fortunate there. Not just to get the pot, but agree is probably play the blue, get that back in its spot. Because the pink's out of action. The black, you feel within a couple of shots, he will be able to get on it. But worst case scenario, you can certainly racking up the points just with the blue.
6.
But again, even if you did pot the black early on, going back in its spot, it's going to be blocked into both pockets.
7.
Yeah, it's a good point you make, because there's not massive value in even getting the black back on its spot just yet. If anything, it congests that area, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's more like adding to the problems. I think it really looked like he pot the red. It was only when he was on the black he kind of realised the
40.
consequences of it.
Yeah, it may well be the case that the black is on to left corner, but maybe get to find out later. But either way, yeah, the brown's
Rumble.
just too difficult to take on, so tuck in.
Luca Brecel, 15. One.
Same problem as he had the last time.
5.
Not the worst little glance ever. Able to keep the break going. Just coming down to have a look. Try and solve the puzzle. Clearing those reds on to the right corner. Try and open them up. Actually, the black going to the left corner makes a massive difference.
Yeah, he didn't give us any clue as to whether it was on, but oh, it was tight and it's gone wrong.
Luca Brecel, 11.
Played that quite casually.
Yeah, as we clearly see, definitely went. It's actually not the full pocket, definitely enough for the black to go.
1.
Quite a bad miss in the end. Unexpected. So maybe, as you said, careless, or maybe just a lapse of concentration. He'd been working hard, got into position, and literally just for a second switched off.
9.
Every shot, even the simple ones, require full attention.
$16. 17.
Struck that very well.
24. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 24.
Slight. Yeah, slightly awkward queuing there for Ronnie, but we still fully expected him just to pot it. Even by Luca's standards there was a lot of cue from his bridge hand. Obviously he had to use the extension and stretch.
Luca Brecel, 8.
Couple of misses just starting to creep into the game. Haven't been there before. That just adds to the importance of this frame.
One.
Could be potentially the first psychological blow of the final. If your opponent wins a frame and one visit, doesn't seem to hurt as much as a frame when you've had chances. And again, apart from even that, also than the scoreboard, obviously the difference between being 3-1 to Ronnie or 2-all is important as well.
Nine.
Got about as close as possible to this red now. What sort of angle can he muster on this black, providing the red goes in, obviously? sort of chance sometimes that he actually, I think, quite enjoys, where you've got to be super creative. Yeah, it was awkward, wasn't it? That yellow was just
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 16.
It's an obstacle for his cue arm.
Yeah, you can even see a couple of times, even just in his shirt, the sleeve, the cuff. Just an anxious look from Luca, just making sure there isn't a gap. There was a slight gap in the path between the green and blue. Maybe a little bit fortunate. These are the kind of exchanges, Alan, I think that are going to be crucial for Luca. Just not to do anything careless. And, as I said, in a little mini game of who pots the next red, he certainly would make Ronnie favourite. In the last round, played a few careless safety shots, which Ronnie capitalised on. Very close.
1.
Yeah, it's a good point you make. I was just thinking, players see different patterns when they're in scoring, don't they? You also see different patterns in the safety side of it with a couple of reds left. What's the best move? That sort of thing. They all see it differently. Ronnie, of course, I agree, you would think is a bit more accomplished in that department. Safety side of it, that is.
6.
Yeah. Might be looking to try and disturb the red away from the pink. But again, of course, even if you got in close, guaranteed a snooker. Probably just nudge both red and white onto the cushion, obviously with the pink in between.
Yeah, he sort of finished a bit too close to it, didn't, because the escape now is, he might not get it first time, but there's no danger. He's going to get the red within 2 or 3 shots at the most, and he certainly isn't going to leave it, you wouldn't think. All right, Luca might be able to dictate from here, but he didn't get a lot of value.
Yeah, wasn't able to maximise the shot totally.
Yeah.
There, yeah, missed altogether.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting the way that Luca played the yellow. I think you either play not to release it and just play for the snooker and put your opponent in trouble, or you play full blood to shift it. He kind of did neither. Interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of like he more or less pot the yellow and then decided what he was going to do, whereas beforehand, if he decided to play the snooker, I said he could have played a very telling safety and brought the red. He still would have been behind the pink, but the red would have been an open play, as you said. The red being on the side cushion.
Yeah.
It was no great advantage.
So obviously the free ball.
He obviously can't roll it behind the black, has to play another colour.
Green ball.
Quite careless from Luca there to not hit the red altogether. Not so much even the 7 points, just you feel like he had control of the frame, he's given it away. Ronnie's able to dictate it.
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4. Free ball.
Can he pot the green, somehow leave an angle on the black?
Green ball.
manufacture an angle, try and take that red out. Never looked like he had that angle.
Yeah, he's going to be eyeing up the brown here. This looks good, doesn't it?
1.
He's got to just miss the yellow. Spinning round the corner. He'll get close to it if he misses the yellow.
Yeah, didn't go close enough to the yellow.
Yeah, he just didn't quite get deep enough.
Yeah, had to be as close as you
5.
possibly could to the yellow to make that angle.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5. Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Again, another careless from Luca. That wasn't overly difficult safety shot. Again, those extra 4 points make a difference. That Luca, even if he pots this red, tries to clear, will need that pink on the side cushion. Again, just gone a little bit careless, a little bit ragged. These are crucial moments. It's not so much even it's called a lack of discipline, but just lack of attention to detail. He's playing the best player ever. These fine margins are crucial.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's sensing where the danger lies. Of course, he gives it, concentration stuff, but sometimes you just got to
8.
batten down the hatches with certain shots and just make sure you don't make a mistake that you're going to regret.
Yeah, in tennis terms, just get the ball back over the net.
Yeah.
Make him play a winner. I think he's just about on the green. And of course, 19 ahead. Green for 22. Should be on the brown then.
Yeah, perhaps the biggest shot of the session so far, and it goes, Ronnie. The straightforward brown, so it's going to be 3-1.
17.
Yeah, looking at that little passage of play there. Ronnie didn't play a really telling safety. He didn't force an error from Luca. Luca just a little bit lax, a little bit careless. And again, has paid the price.
Yeah, Luca Brecel's had enough, so not for the first time in this final at the Shanghai Masters. Ronnie O'Sullivan has picked up the pieces and the odd mistake from the world champion, and he goes to the first interval with a healthy 3-frame-to-1 advantage. There'll be more to come after the 15-minute interval. It's good stuff, this. Yeah, so the round of applause tells us that the players are back for us for the second half of the first session. Luca Brecel, not under pressure. It's a long final, this. Best of 21 frames, 10 of which to be played this afternoon in Shanghai. Both players have settled well into the final, but Ronnie O'Sullivan holding sway at the moment. 3-1 to the good. 6 more frames to come in this session.
Similar pattern to previous frames. Both players looking to get control.
One.
That save shot a lot thicker than he would have liked. I think he was hitting them a bit thick to open them, but obviously not that thick.
Luca Brecel, 1.
And again, probably could have been played a little bit better. Obviously fearful not reaching the brown altogether, but still left a gap. Too big a gap between the white and brown. And he come down to have a look. With regard to the red beside the black, I don't think he can catch it thin enough and avoid the black. I don't think he can hit the red and not hit the black. So let's look at if he just plays a dump shot and just try containing. But if he leaves the white down there, what will he leave Luca? Can he avoid leaving him a shot? So he tried to manufacture something. I think Luke can still clip this one. It's quite, like it's close to, it's quite thin. No guarantee at all where the white is going. Sometimes you just try and commit to the pot. It's quite thin.
One.
Yeah, better shot than look there off with Pewee. So from that early safety exchange, he's got the first chance.
5.
Important
6.
frame as the all-out, but certainly doesn't want to go 3 frames behind, even if it is early stages against Ronnie's such a good front runner. Generally gets stronger with the lead.
Eleven.
Just overran that white slightly there. So potting this red, he's going to be canning another red. Position a little bit trickier.
12.
Play it well.
Yeah, there's always going to be someone playing catch up. Of course, for the time being, it's Luca, but as we know from recent history, he's never one to panic.
$19.
I don't think he's on one. Certainly not to the right corner. Barring a plant.
Yeah, it's a poor shot there. It's not on any ready. Massive margin for error. Yeah, typical Luca. Able to pop a tricky red, get out of trouble, continue on. You just feel he's creating chances. You just feel when he's in amongst them, just tighter control of the cue ball. As you said, it's a great asset to be able to play nearly any shot and get yourself out of trouble. But the fact that he shouldn't be in trouble, and he won't always get away with it.
28.
A bit more entertaining to watch.
It certainly is. Keeps you guessing. It says keep cue ball under
35.
closer order if you can. This game's not played in a piece of paper, it's
36.
easy saying it. These guys make the game look that easy. We sometimes get blasé about these things, but the point is, his opponent today, his cue ball is exemplary, almost always.
43.
Already had to recycle this break a couple
44.
of times.
Again, just a little instance there, just being straight. It would be just as easy to be perfect on the black as leave the white there.
Yeah, it's the point of difference between both players so far, I think, isn't it? Cue ball. Yes, he had the 1-3-4 in frame 2. But general, it's been a little untidy.
Yeah, sometimes you find that with players that
51.
the great potters, they're great at getting themselves out of trouble, but that's probably because they've had more practice in getting themselves out of trouble, because the cue ball is not as tight control as should be.
52.
As I said, it's far more entertaining this way. It's harder, it's more taxing on you mentally, but for us watching, it's brilliant. But I suppose what we're talking about is not necessarily making a break.
59.
Ideally, you want to make a break and you feel within it. You haven't played one good shot. They've all been easy pots.
60.
Just percentage-wise, he's doing it here, but percentage-wise, you're less likely to be making these breaks when losing position. You won't always be able to pull out these little gems as he's done today.
67. 68.
Also worth noting, testament to his temperament when he has run out of position. He hasn't made a big deal of it. He's just got on with it. Hasn't affected him. He hasn't let any disappointment carry into the next shot. Similar attitude, I suppose, to like Mark Williams.
Luca Brecel, 75.
Yeah, Ronnie stays in his chair, so even Luca Brecel breaks down on occasion. This time it was in 75, but he had done more than enough to get back to just one frame behind then. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan 3, Luca Brecel 2. Welcome back. We're halfway through the first session. The Shanghai Masters final. Ronnie O'Sullivan holding the advantage at 3 frames to 2 after an adventurous 75 break by Luca Brecel in frame 5.
It's been very noticeable throughout the whole tournament. Very rarely has a player potted a ball off the other opponent's break off. I don't think it's necessarily that players are more conscientious this week than others. Sometimes the way the tables can play, the spread of the cloth could dictate that. It feels like some tournaments, no matter who's playing, after every break off, they've left their opponent a shot. And of course, at this level, that one shot at the start of the frame could be the frame, but that has not been a feature at all this week. That's why the starts of the frames have been a bit more protracted. Players been patient again, looking to try and gain advantage, gain that first chance. Maybe his strength can also be a weakness, as in he's such a good long potter. Probably gets tempted or seduced into going for a couple that he really probably shouldn't.
One.
Anxious little look there from Ronnie just to make sure it looks perfect. I want to keep the white where the red is, or just a little bit below it.
7.
Yeah, frustrated there, straight in the black. very annoyed. Not with that shot, just that he left himself straight on the
40.
black. Such a strength in his game to be perfect on the black. Again, even there, could have played. He was so close.
Ronnie
To the black,
O'Sullivan,
could have played
14.
a thicker safety.
That won't do at all, Luca Brecel. Ronnie is never one to back off a match and sit back and wait on chances. But all gifts are gratefully received, and he's had a couple already in this frame from Luca, which almost nullifies the, I said adventurous, but really good 75 he made in the previous frame. You know, he effectively sometimes, you don't mind losing frames, but losing them through your own really basic mistakes do hurt.
1.
Unforced errors, really, they are. It's different if your opponent plays a series of safety shots, put you in trouble, and eventually you come unstuck and you go, well, fair play, you play that well. But the mistakes Luke has made safety-wise have been bread and butter safety shots. An unforced error there from Ronnie. Surprising when he came to the table that he only
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
ended
1.
up getting just the one red. But again, it's these kinds of instances here from Luca. Thinner than you want. I said before, every safety shot you play doesn't have to be a very telling safety shot. It doesn't have to be a winner. Your first priority when you're playing safe is to get it safe. He's not doing that today. Just be patient.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but there is actually an art in snooker where every time you leave the table, leave it having played a decent shot or something. Or a leave where your opponent can't hurt you.
1.
Volume of that is telling in a match, isn't it? You just keep the guy at bay for a long period of time. It doesn't have to be a sparkling safety shot, but that's where Luca's got to tighten up.
Yeah, it's with your safety. It's literally like a consistent body of work over the course of the match. So your opponent has to
6.
work for every chance he gets.
Seven.
And again, we're not working off the basis that Luke was playing Alan McManus or Fergal O'Brien. We're working off straightly off the standards of he's playing Ronnie O'Sullivan in a final. Chances are those little mistakes, he won't get away with it.
Yeah, make the other guy tired
30.
of facing problems. It's kind of driving at, which is correct. This is typical
14.
Luca again. Brilliant to watch, obviously. I wouldn't like to be his dad, Carlo, though. A bit stressy.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's such a good asset when you're in trouble to be able to get yourself out of trouble. It's just today, he's been the one putting himself in trouble.
90.
But again, having said all that, I'll be 3-2 behind. I said, looks sharp, playing well. So nothing to worry about, far from it. Just maybe this evening
20.
when the pressure's on, you can tighten up. Just it's on a couple of shots. In the best of 9, best of 21, we could only be talking about 5 or 6 shots. Because when he gets in amongst them, he's very fluent, very positive.
25. 26.
Okay, just got to be careful here. I think it's no absolute certainty. Then it looks like playing it. Might be coming up, cannon in the black. Potting the pink, it will go onto the black spot. Should just free up that area as well. Yeah, that was good. That was the time to take those extra couple of seconds.
32.
The extra 10 seconds he's taken there probably just means he'd clear them
33.
up even a little bit quicker. If he doesn't lose position, of course.
It's quite tricky, this one. Dead weight. Yeah, played it nicely.
Yeah.
38.
Yeah, just
39.
certain moments in frames and matches, just to take those extra couple of seconds.
$45. 46.
You never quite know what the narrative is going
51.
to be, but what it's been so far is that Luca Brecel is the one who's doing the
52.
heavy scoring. Ronnie, just on occasion having to not live off scraps, but to pick up on the odd mistake by Luca. But when he gets in, he's such a live wire act, isn't he? Luca Brecel, very unpredictable, unconventional. Hard to pin down.
Yeah, I think that was part of the attraction of this final. That you
58.
knew Luca wouldn't be intimidated, the fact that it's a final, but also you knew he's not intimidated by playing Ronnie.
59.
He's just in his own little world there. His opponent is irrelevant. As great as Ronnie is, he can do nothing
65.
sitting down.
66.
And again, his cue ball control, as I said, could have been a little bit better, but all that's just done is just highlighted the skill, the talent that he has. And beautiful to watch.
72.
When he plays like this, just seems to be totally free of doubt or anxiety.
$78. 80. 83. 87.
Cue ball's getting its money's worth, isn't it?
92.
Okay, so pink and black for the century.
98.
Don't let us down now. Of course he doesn't. Look at Brecel. Oh, the end-off
Luca
spoiled
Brecel,
it.
98.
But that didn't matter.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
Sparkling
7.
stuff
Frame conceded.
from the world champion. The odd mistake, but lots of magic. He's back on level terms. This Shanghai Masters final is 3 frames all. Welcome back to the second act, I guess you could say, in this Shanghai Masters final. Ronnie O'Sullivan led 3-1 at the interval.
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
We played 6, and Luca Brecel is back on level terms. Off we go then, frame 7 of 10 in this first session. There's no doubt that it's disconcerting to play against, isn't it? Yeah. You know, for all that Ronnie's mind and game and all the attributes he has is the best has ever been, you can throw someone off kilter, can't you? Luca Brecel certainly can.
Yeah, absolutely. Unsettling is the exact word you'd use. Tied into, of course, the fact that the last couple of frames he's been sitting down a little piece. That red at 3-1 was a bit easier than now 3-all having sitting down. Again, Ronnie likes to ideally bully players. And Luca's certainly not a player you can bully. He's not a person you can bully. I said he's
6.
If anything, looking the more stronger, more dominant player.
7.
And if one player is going to go on a little burst of a few frames in a row, it certainly looks like Luca more likely to do it.
$14. 50.
Yeah, I think for all that Luca has an all-action style, in some sort of way it's like he can sort of quietly creep up on a match, and creep up on his opponent and get away from you. It feels like 10 minutes ago he was 3-1 behind. All of a sudden,
21.
He's going along in his merry way. On a break at 21, the Reds are sitting there to go 4-3 in front. When did this happen? Yeah. He's like that. As I say, he's got quite a bustling style, but he quietly just gets it done efficiently, and it's just such a strange
26.
mix he has, his own game.
Yeah, and you can also, because he's so attractive to watch as well, even though you're his opponent, you kind of nearly spend a bit of your time admiring it, or nearly curious yourself, what shot will he play? Oh God, he hit that shot well. That was a great shot. And then if he does miss you, it feels like you need a couple of moments to regroup yourself and refocus on your own game. Plus this whole manner, I wouldn't say Luca has or ever will have somebody you call like a rival. And again, this match, even though it's a final, it's a totally different feel to when Ronnie played Higgins, and certainly a different feel to when he played Selby. You just feel if he lost to Luca, it wouldn't hurt him as much as if he lost a major final to Selby. That can be a good thing, but also a bad thing.
42. 43.
Yeah, he keeps you guessing. It's like this here, you know, he shouldn't be going into the pack. He probably won't, but it wouldn't surprise you. It's just there you go. It kind of isn't the shot because, you know, he's 42 in front. He's got maybe, you know, 3 loose-ish
50.
reds. But it's a risk going into the pack. But he goes in. All of a sudden, if this goes in, he's on easy street and he brushes the frame away.
Yeah, he doesn't have to
51.
be precise in some ways. He just go into the 4 reds. If one of them pops out, well, I'll pot that, pot the one after it, and it might take 3 or 4 shots, but then I'll get back into position. Whereas other players have to be precise because their potting isn't so good. It's that kind of dance. At times it's a great strength, at times it can be a weakness. But certainly if he tightened up his cue ball a little piece when he's in amongst them, and then if winning this world title gives him
54.
another injection of confidence and actually improves, he's going to be a serious
55.
serious contender. And whereas before we would have thought of Luke as could he be a world champion? Yes. All of a sudden you're looking at, could this guy be the world number 1? Could he be the top player? Yes. Maybe not in the next year or 2, but please God, at some point Ronnie, John
62.
and Mark will just go, get rid of them.
63.
You could see a scenario now 3-4 years down the road where Luca is the best player in the world. So the Neil Robertsons, Mark Selby's, Judd Trump's, other potential world
70.
number 1s, other potential players looking to dominate and become the man.
71.
It's worrying for them. Thankfully enough, not something me or you have to worry about, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not so much untapped potential.
78.
In some ways, it's endless, isn't it?
79.
Yeah, it's not even a case of the player he is, it's the player he could become.
'86. 87. 94. 95.
What seems like no time at all, this black for another century. In it goes. It's his second of the final so far. It's only going to be 4-3 in front, but
102.
Luca Brecel is absolutely flying at the moment.
103.
Yeah, the black goes astray, but it's another century on the board.
Luca Brecel,
Ronnie
103.
O'Sullivan is going to have to do
10
something
conceded.
quickly about this, because at the moment, the world champion is in control. He's in front for the first time. It's 4-3. Welcome back to this thoroughly absorbing
Frame 8.
Shanghai
Luca Brecel to
Masters
break.
final with 7 frames completed, 3 to go this afternoon. Luca Brecel is in front for the first time. He leads 4-3 courtesy of a string of breaks. He sets breaks 75, 98, 103 and 134. He's in control at the moment. The great man. Gonna have to come up with something special to hang on to Luca's coattails. That'll do for starters.
Eight. 9.
10.
Anxious here to get an angle on the black.
15.
Looks to be perfect. Probably stun into them hard rather than a screw. Yeah, for Ronnie, lacked a little bit of power.
22.
Unlike him.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
Again,
22.
we've been talking about Luke and small details that matter. Luca now playing so well. For Ronnie, those small little details and not being perfect on the black, not getting the exact cannon on the reds, they could be costly as well.
The other thing is, it doesn't matter who you are, what you've won, what you've accomplished, and Ronnie's done it all many, many times over. But there isn't a player alive, there never will be, that when leaned on hard enough, there's a reaction. And the type of game that Luca plays can upset any apple cart you want to mention.
The way he's been playing, nearly a surprising miss from Luca there.
Yeah, but I'm not suggesting for a second that Ronnie's going to wilt under the onslaught from Luca, because that would be a very foolish assumption. He's got to come up with the goods. I'm sure he will do.
1.
Bubbling along beautifully, this final now, isn't it? Ronnie with the early headway, and then Luca bossing it. It's got a to and fro all day, this.
Five.
Yeah, lost the white, a little bit frustrated. Plant here. Yeah, that camera angle, because it all looked straight. Looked easy enough, but that needed a bit of making. Not even sure if we mentioned that he played with his left hand either anymore. It's old news.
11.
Yes, frankly, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's not something that you always think about with O'Sullivan, the resilience that he has,
20.
his character as a player, but it's there. We saw it this week against Selby. He had nowhere to go, did he, at 7-6 behind? 65 behind, 5 reds left, and produced an
27.
unbelievable clearance. Neil Fold said at the time that the black to the last red, one of the best shots in a long, long time, and I totally agree, to get position on the red.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 27.
Yeah, very unusual. It's twice now in this frame. Ronnie potting the black, gone into the pack, didn't land on anything.
One.
Probably felt because he was at the table, he had to take on that red. Probably afraid of taking a backward step at all. But it wasn't an easy red. Luca definitely on top in this match. But that can change so quickly. Another thing for Ronnie when he's playing Luca, it can happen a little bit, I think, maybe playing Judd, but there's parts of the match or some bit where it's nearly more entertaining to watch his opponent.
7.
He loves being the man, he loves being the showman, the entertainer. But Luca and Judd, with their
8.
range of shots, their cue power, they're entertaining and fascinating to watch as well. So the crowd are never as one-sided. They prefer Ronnie to win, but it's still great. They get to see great snooker. Well, what to say about that?
I've seen that before. That was
16.
one of your rubs, Ferg. Of course, I'm joshing. What a bonus that was. He played the shot nicely, actually, didn't he? But what a bonus. It's funny, isn't it? When you've got a talent like this, things happen that shouldn't happen. It just all kind of rolls into one.
Yeah, exactly. Particularly when you're playing well. I don't know why.
23.
Always seems you tend to get a greater run of the balls. And this frame's important. Obviously important. The fact that Ronnie had the lead if Luke was to come back and win it. Also then the scoreboard. Yeah, Ronnie just, I wouldn't say he's gone into a shell, far from it. Just the last 3 frames have had a little bit of an impact on him. Yeah, just feel wins this frame back to 4-all and we continue on.
Luca Brecel, 23. One. Six.
Just try to overplay the cue
Ronnie
ball in
O'Sullivan,
these
6.
pockets. People sometimes say they're huge. Have a look at this.
Yeah, I'm not sure why with the black over the pocket. Didn't have to be precise. Feels like once you drop the red in, you got some shot on the black to get either red out.
One.
Yeah, it's just the fact that you play it slowly, dead weight, the pocket accepts it, no problem. It's a guarantee, isn't it? That's what the players work on. They like guarantees, generally.
Yeah, Ronnie's always looking to maximise every shot, but he just didn't need it there at all. Just the black is over the pocket, just drop the red in, and then from there decide which of the 2 reds is easiest to attack. Lucky there. Plenty of topspin there, just trying to sludge it.
8.
Just thinking this could be a crucial stage of the match, this frame, couldn't it? This would be a massive blow. It's where, if he has been fallible in the final, it's been in this type of situation. And there it is again. Yes, he's got the cover on the red, but it was a risk he didn't have to take.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right shot. And as I said, your strength can become your weakness. He's such a great long potter. And when he needs it, more often than not, he can pot them to get out of trouble. But you also get a little bit seduced and tempted to go for a couple of shots he shouldn't. But again, we said at the start, we knew at the start of this frame is important. The way it's developed has just added to its importance, psychologically and also the scoreboard.
Yeah, strangely enough, I think there's value in the pot here. There's value. Ah, he's left it. There's definite value. Sometimes a risk like that is fine. It was a scoreboard shot, wasn't it?
One.
He felt he missed it. More often than not, you would get away with it. Didn't though. And Ronnie 32 ahead, just needs the red. I suppose I was saying in this first session, and usually there's 10 frames, but that does every chance of getting 5 all, which is probably the ideal scenario coming in tonight. Tendency when it's 4 all in a 9-frame session, really sometimes
16.
not overly pushed whether you win the frame or not. One of us is going to be 5-4 ahead. Okay,
18.
we come back out tonight. That's not the case here. Neither player certainly wants to be 6-4 behind. Try and give every frame the same
21.
importance. The first frame is as important as the 21st frame. And again, Ronnie, he wouldn't say he was wobbling at all, but just
25.
feeling more comfortable now. Plenty of table time back again. And more importantly, 4 all.
30. $36.
Both players have had their moments so far in this final. Luca Brecel has produced far more quality than Ronnie O'Sullivan, but crucially, we're 8 frames in, and it's 4 apiece. This is one of the big days, of course, on the snooker calendar.
Frame 9. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
And we have 2 more frames to go in this opening session. Ronnie O'Sullivan gets us underway in frame 9. 4 frames all. Remember, 11 is the target this evening.
One.
Yeah, lovely pot, beautifully struck. Again, probably pot the black here. Can disturb a couple of reds and still be on the red above the black. Great check, took full advantages there. Great example of his cue power.
9.
Yeah, you just feel it already that Ronnie broke off, and that was that frame.
Yeah, he's
16.
able to produce magic. That black off the spot was something else. I don't know, we'll never get a reading on it. About
17.
3,000 revs a minute, I think, was on that cue ball. There's not many players, not many people in the game can do things that Ronnie can't do, but he can certainly spin the ball more than Ronnie can. You wouldn't think that would really be important, of course, you know, it's all about accuracy and where you position the cue ball, but it gives you weapons that other players don't have. a range of shots, as you so rightly put it, Fergal.
25.
Yeah, there's probably only Judd Trump as the only other player where it's similar. Probably has more cue power and a greater range of shots. I said that also ties into then the crowd being drawn to those players. They're very popular as well. So sometimes some of the limelight can be taken away from Ronnie.
And he makes it look so easy. Cut back Brown, wrong side of the baulk line. Yeah, blind, no problem. Just slices it in as if it's like toffee, and away he goes.
Yeah, that's the magic and the frustration, you might argue, with Luca there. In the blink of an eye, he had the balls open.
Luca Brecel,
A tricky
29.
Brown, potted it easily. But just as soon as he had the balls perfect at 16, the very next shot, he was straight on the black, ran out of position. That's what cost him. And on the red, on 16, it was as easy to be perfect on the black as be straight. And again, you're not really saying that as a critic. You're more saying it as a coach. If you're coaching him, you just make him aware of the fact at certain times, just for an extra second, just be conscientious to get perfect on the black. From there, it can't really go wrong. He won't always be able to get himself out of trouble. Because if he doesn't improve that cue ball control in amongst them, he's going to be very, very dangerous.
Yeah, without preempting anything, Ronnie O'Sullivan is also probably one of the, or maybe the smartest player of all time. He senses stages of matches, doesn't he? There's 2 frames to go here. 5-5, yeah, that'll be okay. He won 6-4 badly, like really badly. He doesn't give off that air, but you know, as I say, just in match situations, he's able to, I think, put the pedal to the floor at crucial stages.
Yeah, there's never been anybody better to understanding the dynamics of a match. The ebbs and flow of it, the importance of certain frames.
16. Seventeen.
And you kind of feel Lucas played the better snooker today. And for all that, it's 4-all. Again, you couldn't rule out that it'd be tied or even Ronnie having the lead. But certainly, even if it's 6-4 either way, or ideally 5-all, beautifully poised for tonight. Yeah, lovely shot. Right-handed, the rest, and even left-handed.
32.
Never sacrifices his technique. Always plays the right shot. Plays it the right way.
33.
Same delivery, smooth delivery of the cue every time. Fantastic.
$41.
I just felt there on that shot, he changed his mind twice on it. And that's unlike him to not back off. He's still just okay in this black, but it's not a certainty.
And as a result of that, just let the white ball leak a little bit towards the side cushion.
49.
Oh, it looks like he's a nice angle to clip the two reds.
Yeah, very well played. So 27 in front, two blacks from here. Obviously be 43. I don't know whether that's gonna, what he's after. Doesn't look like it. So he's going to need
57.
one of the two difficult reds to win the frame at this visit.
$62.
So this is his highest break of the match.
63. $70.
Just held the pace off enough, didn't he, for it to accept it.
Yeah, I think a little bit harder would have stayed out. Again, there was moments of 4-3 where he looked a little bit, not distracted, but he lost a little bit of concentration. Again, won that frame. Now back right in the groove.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 78.
Yeah, Luca Brecel has had enough then, so Ronnie O'Sullivan's highest break of this final has come just at the right time. There's one frame to go in the first session of this Shanghai Masters final, and it's a huge one. Ronnie O'Sullivan leads 5-4.
Final frame of the session.
Welcome back
Luca
to
Brecel's
what
break.
potentially could be a pivotal frame in this Shanghai Masters final. It's the last of the session of 10 frames before they come back tonight. First to 11 will be the target to lift the £210,000 first prize. £105,000 to the runner-up. But that's inconsequential. What is important is the title itself, and Ronnie O'Sullivan is just showing signs here that he's going to finish this session the stronger of the two, because in the main today so far, Luca Brecel has by far been the stronger. He's been the one scoring, but Ronnie's in front.
Yeah, what makes this match so appealing is that no matter who's at the table, it's still great to watch. I'm really feeling a bit sad that this is the last frame and it's over after this. Of course, Dave Hendon and Neil Foles doing it tonight. It's been very entertaining, very intriguing. Look at this.
9.
For once, the dreaded D cell. It's going to be end of break, barring something special from the brown. What an effort that was.
14.
Even to find the cannon on the bunch. Great effort. I think you can gauge finals sometimes as you say,
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
sorry, this is the
14.
last of the session. You're just enjoying it that much. There's so many different things going on, and it's gone by in the blink of an eye, it seems.
Yeah. Very enjoyable. When they're actually at the table, just to watch them play. The skill, talent that's been on show, but also nearly lurking in the background. There's the dynamics, the tactics, the psychological impact. And again, that's only just going to be magnified, obviously, this evening when the trophy's won and lost. So we already had the European Masters, great tournament. Barry Hawkins played great, but you certainly feel with this tournament, the caliber of players in it, that this has really kick-started the season. And again, of course, we have such a busy run of tournaments coming up. And again, for players that aren't in the top 16, you're looking at the standard that's been on this week and the work they're going to have to do and the standard of play they're going to have to produce to get into this 16, because the players we've seen, you don't really see them dropping out of the 16 too easily.
Yeah, one of the big ranking events in China actually gets underway tomorrow. The International Championship qualifiers at Bonds Forge in Sheffield. Oh, brilliant long red by Ronnie and a perfect result. Yeah, obviously this is the one that everyone wants to watch, and glad you're watching this with us. Say tomorrow, the International Championship underway. Barry Hawkins, the winner of that European Masters, as Fergal mentioned, he plays tomorrow, as does Jimmy White, Stephen Hendry, Stephen Maguire.
7.
Watch that with us on Discovery Plus. Great to have your company for it all week, Monday to Saturday. The here and now is the big frame, the last of the session.
8.
What a big one it is. I think we both sort of suggested
15.
in just halfway through that last frame, the previous frame, Ronnie senses moments. And he's got that eye about him at the moment. Full concentration and like total concentration.
Yeah, you wouldn't say Luca let him off the hook at 4-3, but it looked like he might go 5-3. Obviously, we've seen John let him off the hook, Mark let him off the hook, and from then on, it became like a different animal as such. Smelled blood, and just did everything a little bit better. Unfortunately, there again, it's like he's realised the significance of having a 6-4 lead, as if they'd be tempted to think we're 5-4 up, even if I lose this frame 5-all, okay, we come back tonight. But no, he wants the lead. And on the other side, Luca played quite well, and all of a sudden could be behind going into tonight.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 31.
Yeah,
Luca
that
Brecel,
was very risky. I must confess, I didn't see that kind of move coming, where I just thought he made a move there that he didn't have to. Sometimes it's about what you don't do, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the fact that he was at the table, it was his visit, he was very reluctant to walk away. If he'd been left that shot by Luca, he might have played something different. But because it was his visit. Wanted to win in one visit. Got a little bit seduced into playing a risky shot, but wasn't that easy a pot. But very careless to going off. And it's the fact that he went in off has given Luca this chance. And again, by breaking down, just magnifies the importance of this frame. Not sure Luca gives any frame any more importance than the previous one. Such a great asset as well.
13.
Meanwhile, I'll just give them a crunch, get them open and be able to put something.
Yeah, the epitome there of fast and loose, wasn't it? It's a brilliant way to be able to play. I know, certainly myself, and I'm guessing yourself, it was difficult to get into that mode, ever.
Yeah, we're not being critical, we're just jealous.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll look at this shot. If there's any justice in the world, it'll run. Oh, not quite.
20.
Yeah,
What
as
a
you said,
shot.
plays with such great freedom.
I don't even think Luca can take on the double. That's what he gets you. He probably gets his opponents as well, thinking things that are not even there. You think, what's he going to do next? Nothing's a surprise.
Yeah, you have to think a little bit nearly out of the box and playing him and commentating on his matches.
Luca Brecel, 20.
The parameters of shot selection are different with Luca.
And I wasn't even talking about that double. I was talking about the one on the right side cushion. Gee whiz. Okay, 21 in front. Needs cover. He's got it. Staying aggressive, eyeing up probably the more difficult red of the two on. Not this time. I say, more difficult of the two. I do believe the red on the pink spot does pass. We're about to find out though.
Yeah, Ronnie under pressure, if anything, gets more aggressive. Really tries to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Because again, that red Lucas just potted, it was a shot to nothing for Ronnie. Maybe you could argue percentages were greater, but I think he'd nearly rather miss than show weakness. And he felt turning down that red would be taking a backward step.
Seven.
It's quite a basic error not to be on the straight one of the two. Cue ball going to be running around again, round the back of the yellow probably. Just got to run. Got the brown as an option. Again, the least of Luca Brecel's problems when he plays, I think, is actually potting balls. He just finds it so easy, like falling off a log. So, what we are going to get is a close finish to this last of the session.
12.
Yeah, he's an angle on the blue here. Might be able to pot it and just screw back towards the side cushion. The red on the right hand side. Which always felt the red up and baulk was going to be the more difficult of the two.
18.
Can't do too much with this red. Just really try and got to make sure the pot hopefully is an angle then a colour to then go and attack the last red. Yeah, it looks to be very straight on the black.
19.
He's potted 7 balls in this contribution. He hasn't been in position once, and he still isn't.
Yeah, you're reluctant to say this is end of break and he has to play safety because God knows what he could manufacture here. I think the percentage though is to try and put the colour, get as close as you can to the red and leave yourself ideal on the red to play a safety where you're guaranteed to keep the red safe with every chance of getting a snooker. Well, try to force something.
Luca Brecel, 19.
That wasn't. Yeah, unusual there for Luca. A little bit of body movement, trying to force an angle that wasn't there. And of course, that body movement led to that miscue. And it seemed unnecessary to be trying to force. Again, if he pot the black, even if he's playing the red from distance, he had the first chance to play the tell-in safety, which he gave away. And again, obviously, a hidden hope. He hit it, and not sure if he's left a shot to nothing. But it's these type of mini frames, literally like a mini game, I said, on the last red. Who pots the next red? You make Ronnie a strong favourite.
Living on the edge at the moment is Luca. I think he's lost his way just a fraction. You know, when you do that, you have a lash at one, you trusting to luck, and then there, he's a wee bit unsettled. I think he knows. I think he's trying to play a bit of a bluff game at the moment where, yeah, I'm just, I'm free and easy, but he knows the importance of this deep in his heart.
Yeah, I don't think he'll refuse this one. Yeah, great pot.
Sure was. Now, what do you do?
Is the roll up behind the pink ever in his mind?
In a word, no. I don't. Yeah. It should be in his mind. I'm not saying he should play it, but
It's
yeah,
an option.
it's an option.
But I think he's looked at the pink.
Well, there you go. He's a box of tricks and a box of surprises. But I guess if you don't fancy the pot and it's the stage of the match when perhaps he's probably right. A risk is too much.
I think it's the right shot.
Yeah.
But I would say that.
Well, me too, generally. But yeah, I think just given the circumstances, it probably was. Has he got his reward? It looks like it. Wow. Wow. Is that the biggest mini incident of the final there? The in-off. Tension abound. And the grand stage at the moment, on the grandest of stages.
Just got it wriggled in.
Five.
Yeah, I don't think you'd necessarily say Luca was unfortunate going off. Should have really avoided the middle pocket.
9.
Yeah, the tension all of a sudden has subsided. This sitter of a blue. And Ronnie O'Sullivan
14.
is going to go into tonight's session with the 2-frame lead that he was after. Luca Brecel has been the better player for large parts of this first session.
20.
But in the end, it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who won the close frames when it mattered, and it really mattered in frame 10. And he got the verdict in the end. So Ronnie goes in. The world champion has it all to do when we come back tonight, because Ronnie O'Sullivan leads 6 frames to 4 in a race to 11.